few days ago, I realized just how big my Christmas stash was. There was so much of it, it barely fit into this box. This is my stash of Christmas craft supplies. That's when I noticed my unusually large collection of ugly Christmas pattern papers and decided it was time for a Christmas stash busting challenge. And you know what? It's working. It is now day 5 and I have used up a bunch of my stash. Sure, ugly Christmas sweaters are a thing. Are ugly Christmas pattern papers a thing too? Today the plan is simple and it starts with a full sheet of 12 by 12 pattern paper. Today I'm making a one-page wonder interactive mini album. I'll share all the instructions and full measurements as we go along so you can make one too. It's time to get started. For this project, you will want to work with double-sided pattern papers. They will work best. I am going to focus on the busier prints in this paper pad. This is a one-page wonder, so you do need to start with a full 12 by 12 inch sheet. You do need to cut it in half and you need to make sure that the cut runs in line with the print. See how you can see the print running across the length of the paper? Next up, you're going to score this piece at 2 inches and at 7 inches. This is actually going to be the project cover. Be sure to fold the score lines inwards. Set that one aside and then take the second sheet and be sure to flip it over. See how I'm using the opposite side for this part? You're going to score this one at 4¼ inches and then at 9 inches. The fold for this one here is a Z fold and I will show you in a moment. You'll also need a circle punch because we're going to make some pockets for our album. Here's a look at the Z fold and it's actually that top section, the smallest bit. That's the bit that attaches to the album cover. I do want to create a couple of cutouts for each of the pockets and I'm going to use the circle punch to do that. This one is really good actually because there's a guide there to let you know where halfway through the circle is. I'll be sure to link it below along with all the other supplies I'm using. It's time to assemble the album and we are going to work from the back of the album towards the front. Remember the smallest section of the Z fold that I pointed out earlier? Well, it's going to attach to the back cover. Notice here that I had to adjust the fold. It is still a Z fold, but it is actually the opposite direction to what I showed you earlier. It's actually better when those folds are loosened up a little bit, so you will want to fold them in both directions when you first score them. It's time to create another pocket. This is actually the end piece of that Z fold and I am going to fold it down inside the book there. I'm also going to add a smaller pocket inside the front cover. You can really customize these mini albums. This is really just one template, but you can mix and match the flaps and the inserts to your heart's content. I will walk you through all the albums that I've made and all of the changes and tab options that you have. See, this one here has 2. Instead of the one pocket, I made it 2 separate pockets. To add even more interest and to use up a little more of my pattern papers, I created like a photo mat on some of the pages. This one here on the left was used to cover up some of that bolder nutcracker paper. It adds a really nice contrast. With the albums constructed, let's make them pretty and fill them up. The first thing I need to do is batch cut a bunch of tags. This is the perfect opportunity to use up your scraps. If you're going to go with the option of 2 pockets, these tags are the perfect size to fit inside them. I have trimmed off a very small section at the base of the tags, and that's just so that they will clear that edge so that you can fold the album. Be sure to work with double-sided papers even for this embellishing part. It gives you the option to flip the papers over and work with a print that's not so busy. I've made the pocket at the back here a little bit larger so the tags will actually fit upright, and you can also pop in there a little packet of tea. I really wanted to have lots of options for tucking all kinds of bits and pieces inside of these. As they fill up, they will no longer sit flat, so we do need a way to secure them. The simplest way to do this is with ribbon. And I do want to add it in a way that the ribbon doesn't come loose. You could just add it at the end, but I really wanted a way to fix the ribbon into the album. So I'm going to add it into my paper layers here. I find that doing it this way really adds an extra level of detail to the album, and what it will mean is that over time the ribbon will not get lost. It will always stay attached to the album. I'm using satin seam binding for this one. It's a lovely flat ribbon, so it's going to be able to be sandwiched just between two paper layers. I'm using double-sided tape for this, and you could add stitching if you wanted to make it extra secure. With that done, I am going to add a large chipboard element to the front cover. I really want a statement piece for each of these. You could keep it super simple, just like this example here, or you could invest a little more time and add in some extra paper layers. So have I just totally lost track of time and made a bunch of these? Yes, I have. Let me show you what I've done. Some of them I've kept more simple than others, but they all follow this same format that I just showed you with the template. So this one is really just an extra layer of paper on the front. I have layered the ribbon in between the top layer of paper and an embellishment. This one was on vellum, so it was getting lost when I placed it directly onto this pattern paper. So I've just layered in a piece of white cardstock in between, and then that's just a little chipboard embellishment. I love this ribbon. I've been hoarding this ribbon, so it's nice to actually get it onto some really cute little projects. Let's open this one up. So this was one that had, all of them have the pocket here. And then I did show you two options for this pocket. One was a single pocket, which gives you a little more space and a larger size to work with. And then there is another one with the two pockets with a seam down the middle here. So I've really just added this embellishment here. I wanted to keep these super simple so that you could customize it as you want to. I have also actually changed up the pocket on the back here. There's a couple of options for that as well. And then added in an extra sheet of paper here. I feel like this is just a really good idea to be able to stick in lots of different things. Let me show you. So you could use it as like a little mini scrapbook album. You could pop your photos in here. You could actually like mount them and decorate it as if it was a mini scrapbook album. Or you could use it as like a bit of a gift thing. I think I might do this for my daughter's Nana, my mum, and give her like a little Christmas gift of some family photos and tuck them in. You can also tuck in like little tags. This is one I've kind of embellished, so it's not just a plain tag. I've added a little chipboard element, and so you can tuck those in. But you can also tuck in the back here like a little cup of tea, or even maybe for Happy Mail. Imagine getting a lot of little coordinating embellishments and tucking them in. I wanted to leave this part free because I feel like if you wanted to write a letter, you could put that on lined paper and then stick that in there as well. So if you were sending this off to, say, maybe family and friends abroad who haven't seen your family for the year, you wanted to send them a couple of really nice new photos to update them, and then yeah, you could write a note. Lots and lots and lots of different options. And that's also why I went with a ribbon closure. So actually, let's put this back in so you can see. Even if this does get a little bit more bulky, let's put all of these tags in. Just let's be really generous and assume that we're putting lots of things in. Let me see if I can find a letter. I couldn't find one, but this one would work. So say we put a letter in there as well, maybe a gift card, something like that. So it is now a little bit bulkier, you can see there, but the ribbon will hold it all together for you. And I still, like, it's still very flat. This is a very flat, very postable little mini journal or card. So that's that one all tucked back in. Yeah, I really love this ribbon. It's the perfect shade of Christmas red. Then I did this one. This one's got a lot of layers on the front. So it's got the standard piece of paper, and this one is actually a little bit shorter. You'll see how it's a little bit shorter? That's because it was a paper scrap. So you can use your paper scraps in your layers. And then, can you see there? It's a vellum shaker card. So those sequins do actually move within the little shaker there. And then a chipboard embellishment, and then a sticker for the sentiment. And they've just been glued on and layered up. And then I've used a softer ribbon for this one. Let's take a look inside. So I've kept this one pretty simple. It does show you the 2 pockets. So you can see the seam that I've created down the middle there, and then I've added glue. So the pockets are separate from each other. So they also do fit a tag. So I think I did trim off, yeah, I'm sure I did. Yeah, I did have to trim off a little bit of the tag so that it would fit into this part here, because you do want it to clear the fold. So there's 2 tags in there. You could even wrap washi tape maybe around one of these tags and give it as a happy mail. Put some washi tape strips around there, and then some other Christmas embellishments, and give it away as happy mail. Love this little pocket at the front. Kept this very simple just so that you could see that, and then the simple pocket at the back. So that one came together in no time at all, even though it did have quite a lot of detail on the front. And as with everything, you could spend half an hour doing one of these, or you could spend 2 hours doing one of these and just like really go to town, layer up all your embellishments and details. I wanted to show you how quickly they could come together, because that's the aim of the game for the 12 days of Christmas, is to be able to make lots of different projects in reasonable amounts of time. So next up is this one. I really wanted a clean, fresh look for this. It also has a shaker pocket. These do move around in here, as you can see, and a nice bright white ribbon for this one. Inside we have our standard pocket for the inside and here. I think for me, I would prefer this size pocket, only because I just feel like you've got more options to put things in there, whereas the 2 single pockets, you were a little bit more restricted. I do like the look of the tags that go this way though. They are fun, but you could still even do that in this pocket. This one needs trimming slightly. See how it extends over here? You don't want that. You'll need trimming ever so slightly. These ones are a good fit though. The tea bag fits in there. You could even put a pocket on the outside here, so you could get a strip of paper and just attach it as a pocket on the outside and have your things tucked this way. Lots and lots and lots of different options with these. And then there's a single pocket at the back. I do like the nutcracker paper. I kind of, that nutcracker paper got lost in this, got covered up a lot. So I might even pull out for this one, I might even pull out another sheet of it and put it here. But you don't have to. You can leave it exactly as it is. You could just get some plain lined paper and then even pop it in there and make it like a little notebook cover. Lots and lots of options. Really like the white ribbon on that one. That's a really pretty ribbon. I don't have any more of that either. And then there's this one. This one I wanted to do a little more, like, not kid-friendly, but just sort of play with the idea of like Santa and have, yeah, Santa and very simple embellishments. This is a chipboard frame, and then I've just layered a couple of other chipboard pieces on top. I do like the shine of this pattern paper. How pretty is that? And this was the one that was a bit busy for me. This one is, it's cute, but it is a lot. So I do quite like it teamed with these other more neutral ones. And then I've gone with the single pocket again for this one. So very cute. I like that you can see more of this nutcracker pattern paper. See what I mean? This one shows through a lot more than the other one. Just depends how you go about your folding and your scoring. So yeah, added a bit more of that in there. So that's that one. One more to go. There's that one, the ribbon back in place. Super pretty, isn't it? Really like that one. And then lucky last is another shaker. This one has tiny little stars in it.
This shaker's really cute because those stars are just so tiny. Very cute. And then lots of layers of chipboard here. I do like the stitched element. You don't need to add that. It does add a little bit of extra time, but it is a really lovely detail. And I love that it adds sort of like texture and layer without adding any bulk. And then another big pocket. You can see I prefer the big pocket. I did most of them like that. I just felt like it's more versatile for me for tucking in the things that I want to tuck in. If my daughter goes Santa photos this year, I could tuck that photo in there. Just gives me far more options, I feel, than the 2 single pockets. And then there's that. These are so fun to make. I could spend all day just sitting down and creating a bunch of these and using up my stash. So I hope I've inspired you to make some for your family.
If you happen to be behind on your Christmas scrapbooking and love using sequins in your projects, you're going to love tomorrow's video. I will be scrapbooking and I'll also be sharing a fun way that you can transform an ugly pattern paper. I'll leave a link to that video right here so you can watch it next. I'll see you all again very soon. Until then, bye.